Okay, today I would like to record a review of this book, Spassky's Best Games. This book is written by Alexei Bezgodov and Dmitry Nikov. Sorry for the bad pronunciation of the two authors. This is a chess biography. In fact, inside this chess biography we can find a lot of pictures and I don't know if I can show them because it's difficult. Yep, okay, a lot of pictures. One in particular hit me because it was really funny, and it's a funny story in a sense. It's Spassky that is playing a game against Fischer, but behind Spassky there is Che Guevara, and so his face is really serious in a sense and scared because obviously it seems the directive was you cannot lose to Fischer. Do whatever you can to draw because otherwise it will be really bad. And obviously Spassky was able to draw. The book has a lot of fragments because it's telling you the story of this player through his growth. And then around page, let's see, page 155, at page 155, it starts with games. It shows really the best games. Practically, they choose something like 60 games by Spassky, which are the best. It's quite interesting to notice that these 60 best games start with the fourth game chosen by Bernard Cafferty in his 100 best games of Boris Spassky, that was played in 1949 in Leningrad against Avtonomov. But the game I'm going to show you today, it's game number 3, played by Boris Spassky against this Vasily Bishkev or Bushchev. I'm sorry, the pronunciation is not really good. Or I could show you game 2, Boris Spassky versus Vasily Smyslov in Bucharest 1953. Let's start to do this one because I think everybody wants to see how Spassky in that time, just 16-year-old, was able to win a world champion, Vasily Smyslov. Spassky is white and he plays d4, okay? Knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, and now we know that this is the Ninso-Indian defense, bishop g5. Here it says Spassky's favorite continuation over many years. Kasparov was astonished at how many points Spassky collected in this line, which is not approved of by theory. h6, bishop h4, c5, and d5. An attack in the center, which is countered by a push. Now, how did, because here the author puts a diagram and tell you which move would you play in a sense if you were black. It seems that black played e takes d5. Okay, and so here there is a problem, it seems. There is another interesting line, okay, which is knight takes d5. Wow, you say this is a queen sacrifice, right? Well, it seems that this tempting queen sacrifice can work only in the event of mistakes by white. And here we can see the case. Here it shows a long variation up to move 16, where it shows that white is better, proving that is not correct. However, another thing, the author says that today, instead of e takes d5, the move played is d6, or bishop takes c3, with b takes c3 and d6 again. Now, this is a more modern continuation, but obviously in 1953 maybe that's what was played. E takes d5, okay? C takes d5, d6, e3. Obviously at a certain point he needs to bring out the light square bishop. Knight b d7, bishop b5, castle, and knight g e2. Here too, black has many tempting continuations in which the highly experienced Smyslow simply drown. Knight e5, castle, knight g6, bishop g3, knight h5, and bishop d3. Very interesting. Also here there is a diagram, so one could think how to continue as black. Black in this position continue with knight takes g3, and here it says, at Smyslow realized what awaited him, he might have preferred immediately to establish a barrier on the king's side. So instead of playing this knight takes g3, for the author it says the move to play is f5, to which it follows queen c2, knight takes g3, knight takes g3, and queen f6 with an unclear evaluation. Okay, so knight takes g3, knight takes g3, knight e5, bishop e2. Later white tried bishop f5, okay, this one. This does not take the play beyond the realm of unstable equality. Bishop takes c3. A good idea in this again is f5. At this point I think that if the author is continuously telling me that f5 should be played, this is generally the behavior of an engine, because the engine knows strangely the right move to play and continue to propose it over and over and over. It doesn't change. That is the move you must play. So here it seems the same thing, okay? And also in this case, it gives a small advantage to white, however, f5, okay? But also here it gives a line up to move 17, so just a couple of more moves. B takes c3, and now, obviously, black tried to attack, it seems, with queen h4. Once more, there is a comment about the need to play this also if white has a slight advantage, okay? And there is a line up to move 21 in the book. f4, knight g4, bishop take g4, bishop take g4. Obviously there is a comment that says that the queen exchange favors white, okay? So obviously, yeah, one doesn't want to exchange the queens, but at this point that you don't have anymore a knight, what do you do? How do you actually attack? Where h2, I don't know, but it's not very clear. How did white continue? White continue with queen a4. Here there is a diagram which show practically. I think it's important to see the diagrams in a book because the author puts them there for a reason. Here the reason is that black next move is a mistake, so you can try to find what black should have played by yourself if you pause the video. Okay, so pause the video, try to find the move that black should have played. In the game black played this, bishop c8, which is a mistake. It seems the correct move is queen e7. Okay, now there is a big comment which says the first real mistake in the game, the question of the value of the previous moves remaining open. Smith's law was simply frightened of a complication, perhaps associated with a threat to his bishop, and preferred to hide it in the back of the position. Spassky outplayed him dynamically by making better use of the activity of his pieces and pawns. By the way, purely aesthetically, the return of a bishop looks strikingly ugly, and it is strange to see it played by Smyslov, who preached the search for harmony in chess all his life. Okay, obviously it's true that bishop c8 seems ugly, but during chess history there are examples of moves where the pieces go back and they are the right moves. So who knows? Obviously, in this case it wasn't, it seems. Again, however, there is a line given with queen e7 that show when rook e1 practically goes up to move 27 to justify that black is okay in this position and that this was the wrong move. Okay, so obviously whoever buys the book will see all these wonderful variations. e4, queen g4, queen c2, h5, rook f2, b5. This is kind of interesting. Black is trying to have a counterplay on the queen side. So it means that probably on the king side he doesn't think he will get anything. e5. Not being distracted from central play, the later Spassky might have preferred e4. So it says that Spassky later in his career would have played this instead of a central breakthrough, and it gives a line. Okay, h4, knight f1 marked as a good move. Obviously it doesn't allow exchange of minor pieces. Okay, if you say so, whatever you say. And nothing, because obviously the point here was if played this one, knight e4, then black would have come back with bishop f5. That's the idea. Okay, so instead he played knight f1. Yet black played bishop f5, queen d2, so it seems that also, but it seems logical. However, here it says the group black queen, bishop and h4 pawn are only apparently active, but in reality they are harmless and even help white in some ways. Here there was a little spelling mistake, white is some way instead of white in some ways. It doesn't matter, okay? Sometimes mistakes happen. And it seems logical, however, because in reality there are like 1, 2, 3, 4 white pieces defending, and there are only two pieces attacking, so clearly the attack, I don't think it's gonna work. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, d takes e5, f takes e5, beautiful, because now white has a pass pawn, so ay. Bishop g6, rook e1, h3, and d6. Once you have a pass pawn, you need to push it, right? Bishop e4, knight e3, ding, ding, and the queen e6. And now there is a great move by white. You can pause the video and try to find it yourself. Okay? Now, if you start the video again, the move, boom, rook f4, it's a great move, the start of a non-standard plan and a very lonely linear attack with the participation of knight and pawn. In the process, the possible loss of a g2 pawn seems to Spassky to be just a triviality, which does not merit bothering about. But in fact, to lose a pawn doesn't really matter if one has a successful attack. Bishop takes g2. Okay. Knight f5. Also, this is given an exclamation point. Many modern engines recommend exchanging on g2, so it prefers to take with a knight on g2, which probably bring a satisfied smile to Spassky's face. However, even there, white is also better, but in the game everything is over within a handful of moves. So rook f e8, and obviously black is not safe if it's playing this move, rook a e8, and in the book is shown why. Okay, so rook f e8, rook e3, oh my god, it's coming on that side, it cannot escape, rook a d8, and now you can pause the video and decide what would you play. Okay, I think I gave a hint because I touch the piece that will be played. So rook takes g7, rook takes d6, knight takes e6, and here it says if the queen is taken back, black is mated, and so the game ends. Okay, so practically, obviously, one must see that rook g3 and rook h4 give a checkmate. Clearly a beautiful game by Spassky that was won in just 34 moves. This is a Spassky that was just 16 years old, so it's amazing. I think it's amazing. And of course, we must understand one thing. This is 1953. This is not 2024. So obviously, in 1953, to play this kind of level of chess, it was amazing. Once more, I show you the cover, Spassky's Best Game, a chess biography. A very interesting book, which has, like I said, a lot of pictures, and if I can find the picture of Spassky playing with Che Guevara behind, that would be very funny, because I think the face, oh my that face really was scared. Probably they told him, look that you can get shot if you don't win or draw against Fischer. And that is really the most funny thing one can see. And of course, also think of this different historical period, right, in which the Soviet Union was it's here, I found it, in which the Soviet Union was really fighting. Here we go. you can see it here, in which the Soviet Union was really fighting US and the Western Bloc in the Cold War. So obviously there was a big competition and problem. However, there are a lot of other nice pictures. Please get the book eventually and watch the fragment of the games and the story that is definitely interesting.